tried to say I'm sorry. I really miss the glory. Your wicked ways got me lying down the wicked road. Wake up, I'm still too tired. Dug the grave, put my fire. Your wicked ways got me lying down the wicked road.
Hello, I'm Sydney Badinsky, and this is my weekly blog. Today, it is our official last vlog or blog for this practicum class. I do intend on doing them in the future. I really have enjoyed this process of challenging myself weekly so that I can try and enhance my own skills. And it's also really nice to be able to look back and reflect on the progress that I've made in these vlogs, and also just in general to kind of see this visual and audio diary that I've been keeping of my teaching experience at the beginning of my career. Our topics of conversation are our final e-portfolio submission and our associate teacher report. I'm done both of those. Woo! And with this, I will officially be done my weekly vlogs as well. So it's quite the milestone for me, and knowing that I have ticked off all of the boxes that are required from me, and I hope that I go above expectations with the work that I have produced for my practicum class and my internship class as well. The program in general, I hope I have just been going above expectations. I've really been challenging myself and finding quite a lot of growth that has come from me that I really honestly didn't anticipate to happen, and I also didn't expect so much growth. When we are in a program or of any kind, whether it be post-secondary or it be in the workforce as a apprentice, we do expect to challenge ourselves and learn to a certain degree. And my expectations were not low per se, but they were not as high as I was able to actually achieve. I surpassed my own expectations in the process of actually being in this program at University of Windsor. I find myself very fortunate. I find myself reflecting on my own experiences and in general being thankful to be alive and to be here. It's quite the challenge to juggle so many things that life puts at you, and on top of that, putting a lot of your energy, effort, and time into a program such as this. I've learned new things about myself. I'd like to think that I've grown considerably. I'm not the same Sid that came into this program in 2023 telling Tim Teagues I was ready to throw up on my first day and that I already had that morning. I certainly always will have that little pit of anxiety and worry whenever I'm about to do something big, of course. But the experience that I have had has really helped kind of quell that anxiety into a manageable amount where I'm not overwhelmed. And understanding that I was able to navigate all of this and figure out my own way through it, along with the help of amazing TCs that I've also had the privilege of becoming friends with. I have surpassed those expectations. I've really demonstrated to myself that I'm capable of learning, that I'm worth investing into myself. That's something that I am trying to also teach my students, that regardless of how they may perhaps be feeling about things, they are worth the time, energy, and effort that it takes to invest in yourself and help your own causes and your own life and path. This week in my classroom, I have found it's been going by pretty well. We finally were able to make our buttons. We had enough submissions, which was really nice to see the students so excited to actually be making their buttons. Let's get started. First, grab your beautiful piece of art that you were going to turn into a button. Put it through the slot, and what we're trying to do here is get a nice proximate cut. You got to make sure it's nice and centered. Why we do this is so there's a little extra room that will actually help tuck your piece of art inside of the button top. Give it a pull, and there you go. Take it out of the mechanism. Then you're going to slide it over and take your button face. You're going to put it face side up, followed by your art. and then a piece of Mylar plastic that is also waterproof once you adhere it. The next step is actually taking the button and slamming it down, so then that way you're fusing all three pieces together and nice and tucked into one another. Then you're going to take your button back, facing with the back to the bottom. Make sure it's nice and centered so it aligns with your button. And one more time, slam it down. Please keep in mind, this is an old button maker that has been used a lot, so sometimes you got to give it a couple extra. And voila, there's your button. I will be including this lesson in the future if it's possible, wherever I may be. I really enjoyed doing it, and it was that awesome aha moment where they got to see all of that work that I put into something actually created a tangible thing that I can have and keep and wear with pride. Like any process, the first time you do it, there's troubleshooting that I need to navigate and go over in the lesson and make sure that certain points are being reiterated, bolded, discussed in class. I'm very happy overall with how everything went, and I look forward to my teaching experiences in the future. In terms of my future as a teacher, there are multiple different variables that are kind of just in the works right now. There are no definitive answers as of where I will be come September as of this moment. I am hoping within the next couple months I will have more definitive answers and hopefully be able to say I'm going to be working here in September. I am doing my best to network and set myself up in a way where I am going to be aware of those opportunities when they are available, and I will be taking my own time and energy to invest into them and see what I get back. I'm almost through all the hard stuff. Now it's just that last hurdle of securing my own placement and securing my own life, really, which is kind of an exciting portion for sure. I'm very thankful for the fact that I am able to proudly say I am a teacher. I'm doing it. I'm in the actual schools. I can see the difference that I'm making to at least some of my students. I received emails from both teachers and students thanking me for my kindness in the classroom in regards to making sure that my classroom environment is safe, that the students within it feel secure and safe and able to learn. I've had students tell me that I am the most judgment-free, open teacher that they can communicate with, and that honesty has set an environment where my students both feel safe talking to me and safe to be vulnerable with me in regards to I'm not doing well and I need help. And that's what I'm here to do. That's what I love to do, is to help others. So I'm extremely thankful that my students feel the energy that I put out there and the values I put out there, where everybody in my classroom is worthy. Everybody in my classroom is a human being. We all experience turbulence in our life. It's never all smooth sailing. We have so many things that can affect us every single day. So knowing that there is a teacher at the school who understands that and has personally experienced it when the kindness of others has helped us get where we need to be is something that I hope that I will never lose as a practitioner who is in education. That is my main goal, is making sure that these children and students feel safe in my classroom, that they feel like they are able to learn in the classroom and ask questions, and most importantly, that this is not the place where you will come to be judged or bullied or ridiculed, because that's not what my classroom is about. We're all here learning. I get things wrong sometimes. I'm the first one to admit that, and I am very open with my students if I do something wrong, and I will correct it. And I simply follow it up with, I'm human. I make mistakes too. But what's important is I correct them and I'm honest about it. Acknowledging that you have room for growth and acknowledging the fact that you yourself will sometimes screw up, I feel is a very humanistic thing to do. And not only that, it kind of breaks that barrier of maybe students perceiving you as like a kind of robot at times. I know for me, having experience with a parent that is an educator, it was always for me anyway, not a weird moment to see teachers outside of the school. I had the knowledge that they weren't just robots plugged in at the end or at the beginning of the day and then unplugged at the end of it, you know? So for some students, when they see me outside of the classroom, which has happened, they're like, oh, Mix B. And I'm like, yes, I'm a human who has to get groceries just like you. Isn't that hilarious? And just trying to keep things light, keep them fun, because when you are going through things, sometimes having that little place of respite to just have fun and learn cool things is one of the things that will help you stay encouraged to keep coming back to school. I hope that everybody has a wonderful and outstanding week, and all the best to everybody. Have a good one. See you next time.